We are back with another episode of the Polish the Mirror podcast. Welcome to episode number 14 of the Polish the Mirror podcast. I'm your host, Amy Thurman, and I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for joining me and for tagging along. For those of you who watch every episode, I'm so thankful for you. If you have not caught any of them yet, just look for hashtag Polish the Mirror podcast. It's streaming live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, all the places. You can just find it by following the hashtag. Or then you can go to the podcasting platforms and find the audio version there. Just search for Polish the Mirror podcast and you'll find it there. So much fun. The purpose of this is for me to help people share their stories of hope gained in the midst of adversity. It's a reflection of my life because that's what I've been able to do. Living 10 years with a broken neck, I've been able to find hope in the midst of that. And so it's so important. You all know, if you've heard me talk before, it's so important for us to share our stories of hope. And so I have created this platform for that reason. And so I love hearing these stories. I love getting to know the people who are my guests, and I hope you're enjoying it too. So let's get into this today. Today, my guest is my friend, Laura Ryan. Welcome to the show, Laura.
Thank you.
Of course. I'm so glad you're here. Oh my gosh. Laura is a Spina Bifida warrior and advocate, and she is also one of my Sina sisters. So we have a direct sales company that we do at the same, we do the same. And so we kind of work together in that way. We're on the same team. And so we help each other out as much as we can in all the ways that we can. And so I'm so grateful to have you here. I'm so excited to hear your story because I can't imagine what all you deal with. Like, we spoke before we came on here about some of the issues that you and I have in common. But I don't have I don't struggle, with some things that you do. And so I'm just curious to know how you have been able to find hope in the midst of adversity. So I would love for you to share that with us if you're willing to.
My number one thing is and always will be my faith. My very favorite verse, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I like to take the credit, but I know that it's not me. And actually, when people do try to give me credit, I just say, well, what did I do?
I love that.
And it's mostly my dad that he'll say, you did a great job on whatever. And I'll just say, well, what did I do? Because sounds strange, but I don't really pay attention to what I'm doing, like as if it's some great thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe in a higher power as well that guides me, and that's it. Like, we just follow, like we just let that take the lead, however you want to refer to it, God, the universe, whatever you want to refer to it. Just let it take the lead and then walk the path. It's people, and I don't want to take over your time here, but people make things harder than it has to be. I've really learned that, in dealing with what I've been through, is it doesn't have to be as hard as we make it out to be. It can be really simple once we learn how to really trust ourselves and walk that path that we're supposed to be on.
I'm 43 and I'm just learning to trust my own self.
Yeah.
I feel like I've kind of been on like opposite ends, sort of, if that's the right way to say it. I don't even know. But if there's a spectrum of religion or a spectrum of Christianity, I've been on both sides. I was raised Lutheran. My dad is Catholic, not practicing, but whatever. And in college, I found myself in a group of friends that were Baptist. So I don't even know where I was going with that. I do that so often.
Trusting yourself. It's okay. It happens to me too with this brain. The brain stuff. Yes. You were talking about you're just learning to trust yourself.
Yes, that's what it was. Thank you.
Yeah, of
um,
course.
you know, it seems, and I'm not bashing anyone, but in my experience, at least the Baptist friends that I had, they were all about don't don't take the credit, give all the glory to God. And I had never heard that before. And I remember there was this one Facebook conversation that I didn't even mean to start, but it turned into a whole thing.
Oh, yes. Been there.
And this one girl had said, "What do you mean trust yourself? You're supposed to trust in God."
Mm.
And to me, God is right here. Jesus is in my heart. So if Jesus is living in me, I am supposed to trust myself
Mm.
because I'm not God, but He's in me.
Yeah. It's, we are a piece of the infinite. We are.
Yep.
Our souls continue to live on. People may believe different things, and we're not here trying to convince you to believe what we believe.
No.
Just sharing, as people who live with disabilities, and we aren't able to see it right now, but Laura lives in a wheelchair and has her whole life, right?
Only since I was 12.
Oh, I think I remember this.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was born with spina bifida, and I actually, since moving into this apartment, my mom has been giving me more and more things. And one of the things was, she said I was about 18 months old. It was a picture of me and her with Santa. And I already had leg braces on. So they tried to keep me on the normal milestones. So I was walking with braces and crutches from about 18 months till I was 12. And
Wow.
the only wheelchair experience was long distances, like amusement parks, the zoo, stuff like that, the beach.
Yeah. So then at 12, what happened? Do you mind to share?
I burned my feet in hot water because from the knee down, I can't feel.
And has that always been that way where you couldn't feel from the knee down?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And
And
then, so at 12, go ahead.
I make jokes about it. I like someone will say, "Oh, my foot's asleep," or, "Oh, this is weird. I can't feel my foot right now." And I just say, "I never have." And they get so uncomfortable, but I'm like, I
Yeah.
made the joke. Laugh.
Yeah. Right.
I live by if you don't laugh, you're going to cry. And I spent way too much time crying over my
Oh,
disability.
yeah.
I
Me
want to be
too.
done.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's such a good point that it took me years to accept that, okay, this is how my life is going to be. But it's so freeing. Like when you get to the point where you can just be like, okay, this is how it's going to be. I need to accept this version of myself. Have
Hmm.
you found that to be
Oh, yeah.
true?
Yeah. And I'm sorry, the camera is backwards. So I feel like when
Oh,
anyway,
it is strange. Yeah.
yeah. Um, my sister, back when I had burned my feet, I was trying to, for my family, not even for myself. I was trying to walk again. And my sister would say, "Yeah, you used to just zip around on your crutches and you kept up with me just fine." And I said, "I don't remember being that with it and that
Yeah.
okay with it. I remember these braces don't fit right. They hurt.
Mm.
Um, and even, well, to this day, I have moments where I just go, I'm in a wheelchair right now. Because I say all the time, up here, I am not disabled.
Yeah.
Up here,
Yeah.
I am able to do anything.
Yes.
And then something stops me because of the wheelchair, and it's like, okay, reality check.
Yeah. It's, that's something I feel like a lot of people who live with disabilities deal with. Mine is considered a hidden disability because unless I'm using my walking device or I have my neck brace on or something, you can't really tell that I live with a disability. So it's referred to as a hidden disability, which sometimes is harder because people don't understand that the limitations and the accessibility things that I need until I share the story with them. But I feel like people who live with disabilities, there's such a stigma around us, and that we're not as valuable as other people, or we can't offer as much, or we're not as able to do things as able-bodied people are. And yes, we have limitations, but oh my gosh, we have so much value to offer. Just because we have physical limitations doesn't mean that our brains are not worth looking into and worth helping. I'm sure you feel that. I would love to know your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I completely agree. I Another way I kind of make light of it is I'll say, "Oh, you're just jealous that I just get to sit down all the time. You have to stand there. I don't." You
Yeah.
know, I I just
Yeah.
I'm constantly making light of it because when I burned my feet and everything kind of changed, I that was my first real taste of depression. And from definitely age 13 to age 17, it may have started before that, I'm not sure. But definitely those 4 years of my life are dark.
Mm.
I have memories. Like, you have a memory and you remember what someone was wearing. You remember, you know, all these details. I remember, well, yeah, so and so was there that day, but everything around us was black.
Hmm. So your life was in such a deep, dark place. That's how I describe, the incident that I went through, that even your memories of it have blackened
Yep.
around the edges, it sounds like.
Yep.
Yeah. How were you able to find your way out of that? Because not all people can do that. What happened to help you find your way out of that?
I finally spoke up to my dad and I said, I need some medication. We need to see. We had moved from Pennsylvania to Kentucky for a year. So I had to see a new doctor. And I said, we're talking to him about this. And he
Good
got
for
me
you.
Zoloft.
Yeah.
And it was like, first of all, the fog lifted
Hmm.
because with depression definitely comes brain fog.
Yeah.
And I think I mentioned this the last time we talked, but I don't mind saying it again. I was sitting in my bedroom in Kentucky and I kept feeling like somebody was touching my back. And I kept looking like there's nobody here. What is that? I was no longer numb from the depression.
Wow. Wow. Oh my word, that gives me chills. That's really cool. Holy cow. And what I love about this is because this happened to me too. Like, you began advocating for yourself. Like when you're in that deep, dark place, some people around you don't always see that. They don't know that unless you tell them that. They don't know you need help unless you tell them that you need help. And so you stood up and you advocated for yourself and you said, "I need help and this is how I'm going to do it." That is so courageous. Oh my gosh, I need to
Oh, thank
applaud
you.
you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So many people need to do that, because it's so hard when you're in that place. Like I talk about it in my book. I've talked about it on, every time I share my story that that's part of my story. I was in that deep dark place and it was foggy and it was muddy and I couldn't see or hear clearly and everything. It's just like you said, you're just numb. Like
Yeah.
even your body, that's so wild that you said that because even your body was numb. It said, that you just feel numb emotionally, but for your body to be actually numb too, wow.
Yeah. It was crazy. And it's very possible because, I mean, I do believe in, the afterlife and everything. It's possible it was one of my, I believe I have many guardian angels at this point.
Yeah. Yes.
And back then, the only person I could think that it could have been, wow, did this come full circle? I'm sorry, I just had a moment.
It's okay. That's all right. That's what we're here for.
Back then, the only person that it possibly could have been was my great grandma Alman. How do you always manage to make me cry a little?
It's okay. It's what I do.
One of the things that my mom brought me from her her attic to just have here is a picture of my great grandma Alman. And I just thought, why? When I looked at the picture, I just thought, why do I feel so connected to you? I barely knew you. The memories I have of her are, I don't even know how young I was. Definitely not double digits, you know.
Yeah.
And we were in her. She had a really nice farmhouse, and we were in her house. And I remember I told my sister it was just hollow and huge. And she said, "Well, yeah, Grandma Almond didn't really decorate.
Hmm.
So, yeah, there was an echo and we were tiny. So, yeah, it felt huge."
Right.
And so I have that. And the only other memory I have is for, I don't even know how long. And I just saw my mom today and I should have asked her. But we had Thanksgiving was our family reunion for that side of the family. And again, huge because my great grandma Alman had, I think, 12 children, and they had however many children. So
Right.
there were a whole bunch of strangers. And because of other things that I don't even think is relevant to this conversation, I didn't talk when I was little. And one of my grandmother's sisters, the last reunion I remember us having, she said, "So are you going to talk to me this year?" And
Hmm.
I just went,
Hmm.
I just, and there's no reason for it. I look at it now and I'm like, I don't, because
There was a reason at the time. Yeah.
right.
At the time, there was a reason. It was a protective mechanism of some sort. Um, you don't understand it, but it's a protective mechanism. So you were doing what you felt you needed to do to protect yourself from whatever you were needed to protecting from at the time. So yeah.
That's absolutely true. But I guess what I'm saying is, why was I protecting myself from her?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I I just, I have trouble in my whole life. Everybody, I mean, even you, I have trouble with why. Why do you care? Why am I so special? There's a million other people you could be talking to right this moment. Why did you pick me? Why are you my friend? Why are you in my life? So to think that a woman, my great grandma, that I've seen, she passed away. Did I mention this? That she passed away in 1998?
No.
And I've been talking about her a lot. Well, because I have the picture now.
Yeah.
She was 101 in 1 month when she passed away.
Wow. Wow.
So I don't even know how many times I got to see her because I was 17 when she passed away.
Mm.
So it's just, why do I feel this connection with her?
Yeah.
Why did she, and possibly still from wherever she is, why me?
Yeah. Why not you? That's what I asked myself. Instead of why me, I now ask myself, why not me?
I need to work on that.
Yeah, it's one of those things that takes some time. And it's part of trusting yourself too. But yeah, I mean, why not you? You have just as much value as anyone else. It
I
doesn't matter
guess,
that you're in a wheelchair.
well,
You're still
right,
valuable.
right. And it's not really about the disability. It's just, or maybe it is kind of, I don't know. But to me, with my great grandma, it's more, I didn't I didn't talk to her. She was alive and close to me in the phase of my life where I was shutting down and not talking to anyone. And
There are there are
maybe,
people.
I mean, I don't even know who I could ask this because that side of the family, they don't talk like this. Is
Sure.
how I'll put it. The
Yeah.
emotions don't come out.
Yeah.
So if I even try to ask my mom, I mean, maybe she could tell me, but I just think somehow, even though we barely knew each other, and even though she was my mom's mom,
Hmm.
still, it, so that's kind of far apart.
Right.
I mean, she was 84, which is crazy. She was 84 when I was born,
Yeah.
if I do the math right.
Don't
So,
ask me. I'm not, I'm horrible at math.
so to think that somebody that far apart in age,
Hmm.
and it could just have been I was family, and it also could have been she was protective because of my disability. I know my pap was. Oh, could I go on and 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 on about my pap? He's
There are
absolutely
people.
he is absolutely my angel.
Oh, there are people who just are able to connect on a soul level with other people. A lot of people are standoffish and and just connect on a self, not a selfish, but a self level. On there's you only can get to a certain point, but there are people who have either done the work that it takes, that can actually connect on a soul level. And so that's pretty much what I do. I connect with people on a soul level, and I don't see people as a body. I see people as a soul, and that's why it doesn't matter to me who you are or what you do or what you have done. I see you as a soul, and I want to connect with your soul, and that makes a huge difference. And I feel like that's pretty much what you're describing. Is that you don't? It doesn't take words. You don't have to. You don't have to say any words to connect on a soul level. It's just a knowing that you have with this other person. You just have this knowing. You're drawn to them. You want to spend time with them. You want to learn from them. You want to soak in all of the things that they're radiating from them. And that's it sounds like that's what you experienced with her.
Yeah, my like the only thing I can remember her even saying to me is, "Oh, hi, how have you been?" Because, I barely saw her.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things, it didn't matter that I hadn't seen her in at least a year because we only got together on Thanksgiving. And I do have a photo now. She was at one of my birthdays when I was like 8.
Hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. I love that for you, and I love that right here in this moment, you had that moment of, "Oh my goodness," like, it's all coming together for you, That just
I
makes my heart so happy.
I absolutely love full circle.
Yes. Yes, absolutely, it's so powerful, and it happens more often if you open yourself up to it, and just allow it to be what it is, and a lot of people are afraid of that kind of thing because they think it's woo-woo, or kooky, but it really is powerful, and it really is how we are meant to live. And so I'm so, so glad that you had this moment right here with me and on live. Oh my gosh. Before we go, I always like to ask my guests, what has this adversity or taught you, or what have you learned from the adversity that you have been through? If you don't mind to share.
I don't really see adversity. I just
Uh,
say, I want to do blank. Tell me how I can do it, disability or not.
yeah.
And if it can be done with the disability, I go do it.
Yes, I love that.
I
Love
mean,
that.
I'll just quickly, actually, I can show you. This is 2 different times I met Backstreet Boys.
Oh my goodness. Look at you.
And there's many more. For some reason, I only put those 2 in this one frame. But
Yeah.
anyway, um, the one Backstreet Boy, Kevin, I went on their 2018 cruise. And again, I didn't say it, he did. He said, "You don't let it stop you, do you?" I said,
Hmm.
"No."
Awesome.
And he put
It's
his
so good.
hand he put his hand on the wheel and he said, "You don't let it stop you, do you?" I said, "No."
That's what it takes, I feel like that's the reason, one of the main reasons you've been able to do and to get as far as you have been, because you're living by yourself now. You're taking care of yourself. You're self
Mhm.
contained. That's not the right word, but you know what I'm saying. And that hasn't
Reliant.
always been the case in your life.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
not. It's definitely been an adjustment, but the I remember uh, Morgan Zambrano. I'll just call her out, shout her out.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
shouts people out all the time. She said there's freedom and discipline, and I work from home. I mean, it's not a house home, but I have my own home. Nobody tells me, "Hey, get up," or nobody tells me, "Hey, time to go to bed." There is so much freedom in that. So much
Yes.
power, so much. I'm 43. I
Right.
I've often thought that when I burned my feet, that was something that I've been stunted. There's psychological and emotional stunted because of it. So
Right.
I tell people, up here I'm 12. You're talking to a 12-year-old, just so you know. But since moving here, I just it, I'll say to whoever, I'm 43. I don't even say up here I'm 12, so deal with it. No,
Yeah.
I'm I'm 43, and yes, the 12-year-old still has issues that I'm working through, but I'm just I'm just living in the moment, you know.
Yeah. So good. That's so good. Most of us need to be doing that, living in the moment and stop looking at the past or the future and worrying about all that and just be present. Be present. I love that so much. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for being here today, Laura. I'm going to tag you in the description so that people can contact you and connect with you if they would like to. I
Okay.
also want to give a plug for my book. Just if you haven't read my book or if you are interested in getting my book, it's called Finding My Hero Within, A Journey from Incapacitation to Empowerment. And it's my 10-year journey of living with a broken neck and fighting my way through the medical and disability systems, and how I have been able to do that. And it also serves as a guidebook to help encourage and inspire those who are dealing with adversity, or want to embrace their authentic selves. And so there's so much to it. I would love to share that with you. And you can go to my website, www.getamyshelp.com/book. That's GETAMYSHELP.com/book. And there are different countries there that you can order that book from at that link. So thank you again for being here. Thank you for watching. If you have found this helpful or you think it will be helpful for others, please share it. If you're listening on one of the podcasting platforms, we would love for you to give us a 5-star review so that it can reach more people. Thank you again, Laura, for being here. It's been such a pleasure.
Thank you. I could talk to you all day.
I know we actually get to see each other in like 2 days.
Yeah.
Like physically, yeah, we get to see each other in 2 days. So I'm so excited about that. I can't wait to hug your neck.
Oh, me too. But I'll be careful with yours.
Oh, yeah. It's okay. I'm good. Okay, until next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.